Here, come on in. We'll tell you all about the Germans. Very nice people. Yeah, watch the roads, you don't trip. If you want, you could go that way. That's stuff from the Holocaust. Come on in, Hitler's waiting. Yep.
What?
That's the first generation of grenade launchers, dated 1917. Yep. Yeah, come on in. Yeah, when you walk in on the right, this is the fastest shooting machine gun in World War II. It's called GMG 42. See those 8mm bullets? 12 to 1300 a minute. This is GMG 34, made and designed in 1933. That's the MP40. We get the K98 bolt action 8mm rifle that every infantry guy had. Then they had the Lugers, the P38s, and this is what a German machine gun bunker would have looked like. The ammunition I have was dated 1938. That's when it was packed. See the date? Date 1938. Everything's dated. That's why World War I and World War II stuff is so collectible. Every country dated 99% of everything. They stopped doing that during Korea. Okay, you move down a little bit. These are called Kaiser helmets. See what the point on the top? Those are some of these helmets are over 100 years old.
What's the purpose of that thing on the top?
Okay, if they run out of ammo, if they get into a fight, and right, they ram the guy right in the
Is
stomach.
that what that's for? I
Yeah.
thought it might have been rank or something.
Yeah, yeah. Look how small the heads were back then. You know, people were a lot smaller back then because there was no fast food. But, give you an idea, a helmet like this goes anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500. Yeah, you ever watch that American Pickers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't come here. Okay. But I just keep getting more and more and more stuff. Okay, I'll just name a few uniforms. They had so many different kinds of uniforms, I don't even think they knew what they were. Okay, over there you got the artillery sergeant. The next guy is the Panther. See, that's the first generation with the pink pinstripe around his collar. 1943 to 45, they had the yellow pinstripe. This is the infantry uniforms. This guy here is the Luftwaffe. Yeah, that's the Air Force. And over here is the camouflage uniform and the general uniform. And when you come where I'm standing, this is every Maltese cross from 1914 to 1945. Yeah, right there, that's like $50,000 right there.
There's more people up here.
Yeah, let's move it up a little bit. This is called a political uniform, just like Hitler used to wear in 1933. Here's a picture of Hitler wearing a uniform just like that. 20 years ago, I paid $6,000 for that uniform. It's worth like 10 grand now.
Okay.
From the boots to the hat, all made in Berlin. This is all the gas masks they used, 1933 to 45, every one of them. And these are Kaiser helmets, way over 100 years old. Okay, I'm going to show you guys something. You'll probably never see another real one. It's the rarest thing I have in a museum. I talked to museums for over 25 years all over the country. Half of them know about it, the other half doesn't, but it's in the history books. I have 1 of 100 made gun belt buckles that Hitler's bodyguards wore in 1933, and the one I have, the serial number is number 1.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's something, huh? In fact, when I closed the museum after my veterans party, that's the only thing I put in the vault. I'm afraid it'll get stolen. See, this is why I don't go on vacations.
Yeah.
By the time the cops get here from Dunkin' Donuts, half my stuff will be there. Yeah,
I doubt that with all the ammo you got.
yeah. Well, yeah, but I won't be here if I went on vacation.
Oh yeah, well you got family.
Yeah. Okay, here, let me just go over here. Okay, it's right here, the gun belt buckle. On the right side of the belt buckle is a lever. You push the lever down, the barrels pop out of the belt buckle, the front of the belt buckle with the SWAT stickers goes up, and the firing triggers are on the left side. Right next to it is a cuff band that says Führer's Headquarters. The SS guy would have had on his left sleeve on his uniform. And then over that is 1941 dated 22 short bullets that fit in the belt buckle. Yeah, if you have a camera, take a picture of that because you'll probably never see another real one. But they did make 100, so there's got to be more out there. I'll tell you, the Germans were pretty smart. let's say I'm Hitler, right? And all you guys are SS guys, right? You just got captured. They take away your K98, your Luger, your MP40, all your weapons, your bayonet. Who would ever think they have a gun belt buckle to shoot their way out? You know, they were pretty smart. That's called the Panther Shroud, 88 millimeter bazooka, and I have 2 live shells in the show cabinet. If you've seen that movie, Save Private Ryan, you see the Panther Shroud fire. These are most of the Lugers that they had in World War I and World War II. These are called broom handles. These guns were 125 years old. Not only is the gun dated like that, but so is the ammunition next to it. Yeah, these are the Red Cross and infantry bicycles that the Swiss people made for the Germans. See, a few months ago, I had a guy, you know, every tour I have, there's normally like an expert, they know it all. So one guy goes, they didn't have generators on bicycles back then, right? So I had to look at my history book and cut out the whole page and show they have bicycles with generators on them. You did? You the generator? Yeah, you got to prove everything, Here, come around the turn here. Let me tell you about this flag. It's pretty interesting. It's not just another flag. It's a souvenir flag. I had 8 of them. A platoon back then was 8 to 12 soldiers. So they take these off the government buildings, let's say in Berlin. Each soldier would sign it, and each guy would take one home. The reason I hung this one up is because not only does it have the soldier's name on it, but it has the address in America where they live. See that? So that really makes it special. These were all the boots they wore, the hobnail boots, the Luftwaffe boots, the winter boots, the lieutenant's boots, and the captain's boots. And see, these boots, they made for the Germans when they tried to take over Stalingrad, Leningrad, and Moscow. 1944 was the coldest winter on record, and these boots were made in Auschwitz by the Holocaust inmates. Yeah, they weigh a ton. They don't even bend. That's wooden soles. See that? I'll tell you, the Germans were ahead of everybody. They had the V1, the V2 flying bomb. They had the first jet fighter. They had the fastest shooting machine gun. They had the Tiger tanks, which were twice the size of Sherman tanks. But they had Hitler. He wanted to take over too much, too fast. And when he tried to take over Russia, the first winter, 1944, he lost half his men, 1.5 million. He sent 3 million to Russia. Yep. And if he would have won the war, this would have been a whole different world that we live in, and all of us probably wouldn't even be here.
Would be talking English.
Yeah. Okay, here, follow me. On the right here, we have stuff from the Warsaw Ghetto. You learning a lot today?
Oh, yeah. Actually,
You should have brought your notebook.
yeah. I'm not very good at history. Why did we win the war?
Why did we win?
Yeah.
Because he lost.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright.
Well, Hitler he tried to take over too much, too fast, and he used up all his men. Instead of doing slowly, he wanted too much, too fast. That's the main reason he lost. Yeah. But the Germans were ahead of everybody, technology, everything. Okay, so anyway, this is stuff from the Warsaw Ghetto and the Holocaust. This lanterns came back from Buchenwald concentration camp, the barracks. Maybe the last time that candle was lit was 72 years ago. Yeah, look at the ice pick from Buchenwald. They sent me the ice pick I got from a collector in Europe. I wasn't expecting to get the picture, what they used it for. See, they put it right through the guy's ears and they're dragging them around. Okay, these are Zyklon B gas canisters that have the little white pellets to gas the Jews. And these are all original pictures I got, but I blew them all up. These are the armbands from the Warsaw Ghetto. See that? The Warsaw Ghetto was a place like the size of Colorado Springs, but it had a real big brick fence all the way around it. And they had their own community. That's what these armbands mean. They had their own police department, their own hospital, their own Red Cross. And whatever your job was in the Warsaw Ghetto, you'd be wearing one of those armbands. I'm real lucky to get all this stuff. All this stuff is illegal to sell in Germany. So 20-something years ago, when I met these collector guys, they came here to visit me, and they started, sending me stuff. I said, so how are you getting all this stuff to sell me, right? So what they do, if you get caught with a swastika flag in Germany, you go to jail. Yeah, it's supposed to be turned into the government. So anyway, they look in the newspaper. Let's say John, he's 94 years old. He just passed away. He was probably a Nazi. So they go to the funeral and they meet the family and they go, hey, did John have a footlocker in the attic or the basement? And that's how they find the stuff. They make a deal with the family and then they send me pictures and I send them money. And then about a month later, the box comes. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. Okay, these are original Holocaust uniforms. I paid over $3,000 for each one. Oh, thank you. How are we doing up front? Good. Okay, so anyway, this one's from Auschwitz, Buchenwald, Dachau, and that's the SS uniform that the guards would wear to guard the death camps. Okay, you come around the turn here. This SS flag and breadbasket came back from Dachau.
How long have you been doing this museum?
34 years. Okay, here, let's come around here, because what I'm going to show you next is real, you'll never see it again. Unless you come back.
I'll be back.
Okay, this is real interesting stuff. You guys should know about all this. Okay, here's the handcuff from Dachau. See that? They used to grab the bodies, pull you up on the pile, hit the middle trigger, and release the body. This is soap from Auschwitz, made out of human fat. The Holocaust Museum in Washington, people tell me, don't even have any of this stuff. These are original Zyklon B gas canisters. I bought 20 of them 20 years ago, and they were never opened. They're dated 1942 and 43. Yeah, let me show you, because I like to prove everything. Okay, see the date on it?